Wrap it, dip it, double dip it. Wait a sec, double dip? Are we okay with double dipping here, people? That's like putting your whole mouth right in the dip. Yeah, these dips are so delicious and healthy, you will not be able to stop people from double dipping. As usual on the channel, everything is gluten-free, high protein, and vegan. So if you love recipes like that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let's get dippy. So having all these healthy, high protein dips and spreads on hand has been a huge lifesaver for Brad and I so far this year, as we are two people who work out a lot. And this means we often need a lot more high protein meals and snacks and nibbles throughout our day. And lucky for us, these dips are super high in protein, so they make for awesome snacks, or what I like to call meal boosters. Use them on toast or in wraps or with veggies, or take a dollop and put it on your salad or your grain bowl, and that instantly makes your meals a lot more satisfying and filling. So let's start with this very pretty to look at black bean and beet dip. Now, I have had many a black bean dip in my life, but adding beets to it not only adds extra antioxidants, because we all know how good beets are for us, it makes this dip packed full of nutrients and minerals, and it's just so darn pretty, you guys. It's a pink dip, like, oh my gosh. Plus, it's so delicious. It tastes super tangy and flavorful, and oh my gosh, you guys need to try it. 8 ingredients, folks. That's all you need to make this delicious black bean and beet dip. So let's get started by roasting 1 medium beet for about an hour in your oven until it is fork tender, and you can easily peel the skins off once it is cool enough to handle, of course. Then grab yourself a handy dandy food processor and throw in a can of drained and rinsed black beans, plus that roasted beet, chop it up so it blends a little bit easier, and a couple cloves of garlic. Then for some extra spice and flavor, add some sumac, cumin, and salt. If you're not sure what sumac is, it is a delicious florally citrus herb, and it is just dang delicious. And then for some extra sweetness, tanginess, and acidity, we're gonna add in some balsamic vinegar. Then for some nuttiness and creaminess, and just to make it overall amazing, add some tahini. Lastly, to finish it off with a bright burst of flavor, add some lemon juice to really zest it up. Now just blend it on high speed for about 30 to 60 seconds until it is turned into this thick and creamy, dreamy, bright pink beet dip. Now, you guys, this is honestly so delicious, and it is as delicious as it is pretty. Now, if you want to get extra fancy, which is always a fun idea, you can add a little drizzle of balsamic vinegar on top, and oil if you wish. I decided to leave out the oil because I am trying to reduce my calorie density as much as possible these days. And then add some chopped fresh herbs like cilantro or parsley or basil, and a little bit of sesame seeds sprinkled on top, and you have a totally banging high protein dip that is so delicious. I seriously cannot get enough of this, and I think you guys are gonna love it. Let me know if you try it. Okay, next up, we're making tofu ricotta. Using tofu ricotta on a bagel or on your morning toast or avocado toast is such a high protein level up. And I also love to use them in just like classic dishes like lasagna. It's so delicious, and you guys, once you try it, you're gonna make it a lot. Hot tip, one of my favorite ways to use tofu ricotta is actually on pizza. I know, sounds crazy, but it's so good. Replace the tomato sauce. I mean, you don't have to, but this is how I do it. And you have a nice thick layer of tofu ricotta on there. Instantly makes your pizzas that much more healthy for one, and super satisfying and filling. Righto, so grab yourself a block of extra firm tofu, or medium firm is fine as well, and crumbled up into a food processor. Now we're gonna add some dried herbs. I generally like to use basil or oregano or some Italian seasoning, and then add some salt and pepper to taste. And then we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast just to add a slight cheesy and kind of savory umami flavor, and then a little bit of oil. You can always omit the oil if you do an oil-free diet. And then to just bring out all the flavors of the herbs and seasonings we use, we're gonna add a little bit of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Pop a few cloves of garlic in there and add a few tablespoons of plant milk, and give that a really good blend on high speed for about 30 to 60 seconds until you have achieved this dreamy, creamy, spreadable texture. It's gonna look a lot like cream cheese. And actually, one of the best parts about this tofu ricotta is that you can pretty much use it in place of cream cheese anywhere you would normally use it. As you can see, I love to spread it it on toast or bread. I like to put it in my wraps. I like to spread it on pizza, which is probably my favorite way to use it. I mean, seriously, look at this pizza, you guys. And then I also love to put it in my pinwheels. This is just seriously such a delicious way to add protein to your everyday meals. I don't know about you guys, but I have been hearing a lot more about green chickpeas these days. And luckily, I was able to actually find some at Costco. You can check them out in this Costco grocery haul up here. But I'm wondering, like, what is the big deal about green chickpeas? And it turns out that they're actually slightly higher in protein, a little bit less in calories, and I believe a little bit higher in fiber, which is kind of crazy. They don't really taste any different from regular canned chickpeas, but if you want a really cool green spin on your classic hummus, then definitely make this recipe. My take on a classic hummus makes it a little bit healthier by replacing the oil with avocado, and this actually makes it way less calorie dense. For any of you who are trying to lower your calorie density, definitely try out this hummus. We got ourselves another 8-ingredient dip. Don't know how that happened, not intentional, but you likely have most of these ingredients already. So to your bowl of your food processor, add some of those green chickpeas plus some freshly squeezed lemon juice. And then we're gonna add some drippy tahini. I use about 2 to 3 tablespoons. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna add half of an avocado in lieu of oil. Then for some extra delicious flavor, add a couple cloves of garlic and a tablespoon of pickled jalapenos. I love to add cumin to my hummus pretty much every time. This is something is like a non-negotiable ingredient. I must always have cumin in my hummus. Then just add some salt and pepper to taste, plus any fresh herb you like. I just happen to have parsley on hand, but you could use basil or cilantro, and give that all a really good blend once again, as we do while making dips, until it is thick and creamy, until it is this beautiful, green, lean protein machine. Feel free to add any kind of chopped veggies you like on top. I like to add some pickled jalapenos, herbs, some chopped bell peppers, and a few extra red chili flakes, and you have yourselves a super impressive and beautifully delicious green chickpea hummus. I got tons of other high protein, vegan, and gluten-free recipe videos, so make sure you dip into them, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye! You dip the way you want to dip, I'll dip the way I want to dip.